You know, we see horses all the time, in fields, in movies, on racetracks. We feel like we know them. But what if I told you this majestic animal is hiding some absolutely incredible secrets right out in the open?
Seriously, just think about that for a second. How on earth does a 1,000-pound animal sleep standing up and not just topple over? It sounds impossible, right? Well, it's a genuine biological puzzle, and solving it is the key to understanding, well, everything about them.
The answer lies in what you could call an anatomical superpower. But to really get it, we can't just jump to the big reveal. We need to follow the clues. So let's go on a little investigation and uncover the secrets that really make a horse a horse.
Okay, let's dive in. Our first set of clues has everything to do with how a horse experiences the world around it. Their senses are finely tuned for one thing above all else: survival. First, just look at where their eyes are. They're on the sides of their head. That's not for looking at one thing straight ahead like us. Nope, it's for seeing everything. This gives them this incredible panoramic view, like a built-in surveillance system that's constantly scanning for any hint of danger. It's their first, and maybe their best, line of defense. And it isn't just their eyes. Their ears are like these incredible, finely tuned satellite dishes. They can swivel and rotate almost 180 degrees, and they can do it independently. This lets them pinpoint the exact location of the faintest sound, giving them an early warning long before any threat is even in sight. So they can see and hear threats coming from pretty much any direction. But what do they do then? How do they warn the rest of the herd without making a big scene? Well, that brings us to our next clue: their secret language. Now, horses do make sounds, of course, but every single call has a very specific purpose. A big, loud whinny, that's for long-distance chats, like yelling, "Hey, I'm over here." A soft little nicker is more like a gentle close-up, "Hello." And that sharp snort or blow, that's the instant, "Whoa, what was that?" alert signal. But here's the really cool part. Most of their communication is totally silent. For an animal that needs to avoid being dinner, staying quiet is staying alive. The flick of an ear, the swish of a tail, even just the tension in their mouth. These tiny little signals are a whole conversation, and it's one that the rest of the herd understands instantly. This amazing silent language is really the glue that holds their ultimate survival strategy together. And what's that? The herd itself. You see, one horse on its own is vulnerable, but a whole herd? That's a fortress. The herd basically operates like a single giant organism, with dozens of eyes all scanning 360 degrees and dozens of those radar dish ears swiveling. It's almost impossible to sneak up on them. This social structure, this idea of safety in numbers, is their greatest advantage, hands down. Okay, so they can sense danger and they can communicate it silently. But what about the physical machine that has to make the getaway? That brings us to the horse's incredible athletic design, from its personality to its appearance. Generally speaking, you can group horses by their temperament. On one hand, you have hot-blooded horses. Think of them as the track stars, the sprinters, the marathon runners. They're built lean and energetic, all for speed. On the other hand, you have cold-blooded horses. These are the gentle giants, the powerlifters. They're calm, massive, and built for immense strength and pulling. And this athletic build comes in a stunning variety of packages, each coat with its own genetic story. A true black horse, for example, has pigment that's so deep and pure that its coat won't fade or bleach, not even in the blazing sun. Then you have your classic bay horse. This one is defined by its black points. The body can be all sorts of shades of brown, but the mane, tail, lower legs, and the very tips of its ears will always be black. It's like a very specific genetic uniform. And what about the beautiful Palomino? Well, that gorgeous golden coat is all because of a single dilution gene that works on a reddish or chestnut base coat. It's a perfect example of how genetics can basically paint each horse a different color. All right, let's take a breath. We've gathered all the clues: hyper-aware senses, a secret silent language, the safety of the herd, and a body that's built to escape. I think it's time. Let's put it all together and finally solve our big mystery. The answer, the hidden superpower, is something called the stay apparatus. This is it. It's a remarkable internal system of tendons and ligaments that work like a set of locking braces for their legs. It allows them to doze off while standing, using almost zero muscle energy to do it.
So here's why that's a game changer. This isn't just about sleeping comfortably. It's all about being ready. A horse lying down is a vulnerable horse. But with the stay apparatus, it can rest its body and mind, but still be ready to explode into a full gallop in the blink of an eye. It's the ultimate survival adaptation.
And that's really the beautiful connection, isn't it? Their keen awareness, their powerful athletic ability, their social nature, the very traits they needed to survive are the exact same traits that made them such incredible partners in our own history.
So the next time you see a horse standing quietly in a field, you'll know it's not just standing there. You're looking at a perfectly adapted survival machine, resting, but always ready. So now that you know their secrets, what do you see when you look at a horse?